Hello everyone and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson and I'm channeling the man in the moon. Let's see if I can adjust the brightness here a little bit. The sun just came up behind my head, so you might see me in a bit of shadow. Today I'm going to talk about changes that are going on in the universe, on the planet. Some really dramatic stuff is happening that we don't necessarily see with our eyes. If you are feeling very, very sort of energized, nervous, triggered, if you feel like things are just changing really rapidly on a variety of planes, you're not alone. All my clients that I speak to are feeling this. I am feeling this. It's not the same kind of terror and desperation that we felt a year ago or even 2 years ago. It is a kind of strange but exciting feeling. Maybe you recognize it. It's almost like a pregnant feeling, like we're nervous, we're waiting for the baby to come, but we're excited at the same time. So you're not alone if you have these feelings. And I'm just going to ask two questions. One, how could Spirit describe what's changing on the Earth and in the universe? And the second question is there anything that we can do to make this happen easier for us and for others? So first question, Spirit, how could we describe what's going on the Earth and in the universe? Well, much has been described by people like Dolores Cannon, and feel free to read about the new Earth. I very much see like an Earth being created. A friend of mine named Gloria Grace, who you might have seen on my channel, she described it as, through her channels, as living in a house while it's being rebuilt, except that you're the house. It's a very, very, very complex situation that's going on right now. And I think the house, as you, is a perfect metaphor. What I see is a sort of bright, bright, bright light behind a planet. And it's like the light on the planet is just not the same. Something's different, and something's much more pure, exciting, changeable. Generally speaking, I think that Spirit leaves us with free will and leaves us to our own devices. We might do right or wrong. But it's a little bit like there's a sort of extra push from the universe. It's not that it's making us or forcing us to make any decisions, but because of its presence, it's making those decisions even more important. I feel very drawn to this light. And that's another change that maybe people aren't recognizing is going on. Light. We are drawn to the light. And while the Earth might be doing crazy things, humans might be doing crazy things, go towards this light of intuition. It's a light that people cannot see, at least with their eyes. They can feel it. All of us are feeling it, one way or another. It really is like a very bright light is shining on the planet, and we're seeing the truth. We're seeing the truth of everything. We're seeing the truth of those who do good and those who do ill. We're seeing the truth of those who are obsessed with material things and money and power, and with those who are rising a little bit higher. It is Spirit, and it is transformative. And it is very possible to get into that state of transformation right now. Maybe more possible than any other time. Can we describe it in any other way? Here's a great way to think of it. Spirit shows me an orange, and then the orange is peeled. What's inside is really delicious, right? But there is this process of peeling away the untruths that exist for us on this earth. You don't need to speak to me or any other particular person to find out what that truth is, because the truth is there and it's available for you. And if you sit down and meditate, if you ask Spirit to reveal the truth to you, it will be revealed. You don't need another person. You can do it on your own. It's nice to have others that confirm you and help you. It's great to have friends you can talk to about this with. But everyone can turn towards the light. You just have to trust. Trust yourself. This takes time. So, is there any other way that we can know about this? It's very helpful if you do stand in the actual light. If you go and stand in sunlight or moonlight. It's actually very helpful if you just go there in some kind of silence. Even that will just start to heal stuff. Yeah, everyone has a guide. Everybody has a guide in spirit. I believe that we all have individual guides. They take sort of energetic form for us. And they're available if we ask them for help. They will guide us. Again, you don't need a guru to tell you this. Your guides are available to you. It's just, the only thing that's needed is a bit of quiet and silence. This is extremely difficult to do in our time. So Spirit, what can we do? How can we be more in relationship to this? Pyramids are always good. Put yourself in a pyramid, especially when you're going through difficult times, or you've got a difficult situation, or you just want to know. Just put yourself in a pyramid, fill it with light, and ask for things to be revealed. How else? Go to nature, and when you're sitting in nature, don't hesitate to talk to the flowers, or trees, or rivers, or wherever you are. Animals, especially horses. Yeah, because they can sense what's going on, and they can sense that you know what's going on. Even if it's just looking at animals, or looking at horses. And understand that there's energy below, too. And that's sort of what the horses represent. One thing that's great about the pyramid is that it does keep you grounded. I always like a Merkaba, a pyramid above, and a pyramid pointing to below. That lower pyramid very much keeps me grounded. If you can imagine these things, it will be very helpful for you. Get rid of toxic people. There may be people even in your own family who kind of drive you crazy. You don't have to never speak to them again. But, that might be necessary for you to keep your sanity. But, maybe a compromise position, which is, just keep them at arm's length and don't get triggered by them. Be as friendly as possible without letting them pull weird buttons and stuff like that. That will be very useful for you right now. You do not need toxic people in your life right now. It's going to be hard enough. You don't need them. You're not going to change anybody's mind. They'll figure that out on their own. They have their own trajectory in this lifetime. And that trajectory may not be to become enlightened or understand others. That may not be it. Feel free to do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Is there anything else we should do? I see a beautiful river, and that's like the sun is on it. And that is telling me, like a river, it goes on and on forever. There will always be water in the rivers. So you might look at climate change and say, no, that's not true. But many rivers, most rivers, will have water in them. And if they don't have water in them at some point, the water will eventually come back. Perhaps it'll take 1,000 years. Point being that it goes on. It's just a process. It's never going to be finished or complete. It has a trajectory of its own, a rhythm of its own, a river. Can you be in a relationship with that? Can you be in a relationship with things that change and just let them change? Yeah, approach things calmly and trust yourself. If something's going on around you and it doesn't feel right, it's probably right. You're probably right. It's not right. Trust yourself, and you don't have to convince others of the truth. The truth is the truth. Be in your truth, and imagine that you're a boat on that river. It's going to take you places. You don't need to resist it. You just need to be safely in sync with it, right? In your boat, able to pull off the water when it's time to stop, able to get back in when you are ready. There are many ways that you can do this, one of which is just slightly healthier living. You don't have to go on a crash diet. Just slightly healthier living, right? Do these things step by step. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Yeah, there's just an ebb and flow to this river, an ebb and flow. And while it might seem like you're going off a waterfall, these really are just changes. This river's symbolic. You're not literally going to drown in it. You're not literally going to go off a waterfall. It might be a big change in your life, a surprise that makes you change. But it's not the end of the world, these changes. There really is a new Earth coming, and that's this Earth. One isn't going to disappear and a new one's going to be recreated. It's happening around you right now. Everything around you, every tiny speck is in a process of change. Don't panic. That's what the fire engine is telling me. Don't panic. It's just change. We do have to be in somewhat sync with it. But that just requires going into the self. Thanks so much for watching.